This episode of Rookie Hunter is proudly brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation. Become a member, renew your membership, and join the Less Than One Club at wildsheepfoundation.org. And make sure to check out Sheep Fever, the official podcast of the Wild Sheep Foundation. Do your part to put and keep wild sheep on the mountain. Hey guys, welcome to episode 153. Coming at you a little later than we expected, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Hope you enjoyed our episode with Renee Thornton. Lots of great feedback on that one. It's kind of inspired us to do more shows like that, have more ladies on the show. It would be nice. It's been a bit of a sausage party here for a while, and that's not fair. We got to switch it up. I really enjoyed that episode, it got me very inspired and excited for spring bear season, which is coming up real quick here. April's only just a few short weeks away, and this episode we're kicking it old school. It's just like the good old days of just me and Kelly, and you're also going to hear a little story about the time we almost shit our pants. So all kinds of stuff in this episode, not just hunting. And hey, if you want to help us out, you can leave us a rating and a review in Apple Podcast, and you can huck us some stars. 5 is always nice. In Spotify, I can see that you guys have been doing that. Really appreciate it. But let's get into this episode. Sit back, relax, crack an ice cold beer, and enjoy episode 153 with me and Kelly. Kelly Molnar, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Good. I guess today is like officially spring, is it not?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think it is.
I haven't been paying attention, but it
feels like summer.
Yeah, it kind of went from straight winter right into t-shirt and shorts weather.
Yeah,
there.
Insane.
Surprising, actually.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard. I was out on the weekend. James and I picked up a couple yards of mulch and we were shoveling all day on Sunday. Nice. And I got a bit of a sunburn on my face and stuff. So
yeah, my face is red too. Yeah.
You know, you don't, you're in winter mode and then all of a sudden, I'm not complaining. It's pretty sweet. We've been eating outside every night.
Yeah.
I don't think it's supposed to last. I think rain and cold is coming back for a bit, but
yeah, pretty wild, man. There's already like wildflowers popping up. The hillsides are all turning green. Yeah. You know the arrowleaf flowers that we have, the yellow ones?
Yeah, the balsam root or whatever they're called. Yeah.
I was out running today on a trail and they were already starting to pop up out of the ground, which is super early. Mm-hmm. Usually that's like mid-April.
Yeah. It's and I'm sure that has consequences too.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's like too early, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a sign of, I guess, it's just been kind of a bunch of wacky years, it feels like.
You know, it's funny, man. I think like every podcast we've done, we've started it by talking about the weather because it's just like
small talk,
all these extremes, but it's like, it's not even just small talk. It's just bizarre.
Yeah. It's all foreshadowing into like what we're hoping to expect for the seasons and hunting and stuff too. So
yeah,
makes sense. I guess it's not just small talk. It's strategy.
Real talk. Yeah. I did some scouting on the weekend.
Oh yeah.
It was more hiking, but you know where I went, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I'd go and check that out. I was like, oh man, maybe there's still going to be snow. I thought for sure I would maybe find some pockets. Nothing. Mm. And I know, you know where I'm talking about. It usually floods quite a bit, and there's some areas that in the spring you can't really even get around them, or it's just kind of you're gonna get wet if you try, and no problem getting around any of that. So,
see, the interesting thing is I was at the ski hill on Saturday, and it's still pretty close to a 200 centimeter base up there.
Right.
And then you come into town and there's people golfing, and you could
Yeah.
technically do both on the same day. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely could.
And then I saw you on, what day was that?
Saturday,
Saturday?
I think.
Yeah, you've got a restaurant close to your house there. And
Yeah, that's right.
taking Earl out. So
right
I
down below me.
sent
Yeah.
you a creepy note. Hey, I can see Earl.
Yeah, I was looking around like, what the? I figured that's where you. I figured either Bouchon's or at Eric and Jane, two really good restaurants. And there's also Waterfront Wines.
Actually, all three of the better restaurants are there.
Yeah,
You're in a good spot.
not bad.
Yeah.
And I guess the good thing is it's not somewhere you would go all the time. You'd be broke in a hurry.
Yeah, they're kind of on the special occasion scale, right?
I had a really good Japanese place next to me in the last place I was in. And it was cheap enough where I was pretty much eating there every day.
Nice.
So even though I'm downtown now, I've been forced to cook a lot more, which is good.
Yeah.
Plus, I got a really nice kitchen too. So,
Well, you've got like, you can just step outside and grab some fresh veggies and whatever. But I was just gonna say, like, pretty much anytime I get out now is a special occasion. Kind of get to that point, right, where you get a babysitter or family's in town, and you're like,
yeah, well, you kind of got a built-in babysitter, so things are looking good for you guys.
Yeah, we've got some family hanging out she's doing her practicum.
Yeah, that's
for
awesome.
School, so she's with us for a short amount of time. But get out there and
take advantage of
it. Dinner.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Absolutely.
I was hoping to come on that hike as well because the weather was so nice, but now that you've done the scouting and stuff, I guess it's easier for next time. No questions, right? We just
exactly. That's kind of what I was hoping to achieve.
Yeah.
It's a spot that we know there is black bears in there, and I hiked to a spot where I've seen a pretty nice bear last year, and have seen some in that same area, but no sign yet. And I only went I could have kept going, but it was just one of those things where, you have to walk back.
Yeah.
So
it always seems easier than,
yeah,
before you go and then.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I saw a little bit of elk sign that was fresh-ish, maybe in the last couple of weeks. Some deer sign, no critters, but I was out there kind of midday, so that's surprising.
Well, as long as you're seeing sign, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, nice to get out, man. And I think I'm curious to see how high we can get up right now. There, and the reason why I'm saying that is because you saw some turkeys a little higher up, and it would be cool to go mess around in there. Yeah,
let's. What we should do is just unload the quad, see how far we can go.
I guarantee we can get all the way up to the flat.
Interesting.
But I think you got to be below that snow line, so it'll be interesting to see
where it is. Yeah,
where it is, and I don't know. Maybe we can go for a little get up into the snow line if there is one.
Yeah,
and then come back down a little ways and see if we can find some sign.
Yeah, I like to get that thing out anyway.
Yeah,
it would be cool too. Like we talk a lot about hunting and bear and turkey and in the spring, but it would also be fun if we can get high enough. And it's surprising. Like I remember going out in May with my brother-in-law, and we hit snow, well before I was hoping to. This is in a different area. But, if you can get high enough just to scout some muley stuff, kind of check out some areas. And we found some cool areas last year.
There too, man, just to see.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Not even to specifically see sign or stuff like that, because they might be in different habitats right now, or over the winter. But we kind of know where they were hanging out in September, so we could check it out and just explore the area a little bit more.
Yeah,
maybe even put a plan together for bringing a tent up there one time or something.
Yeah, for sure. Wait for the next wave of warm weather and go check it out.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. So, what are you thinking you want to do? I know we chatted about it with Garrett a little bit. Garrett has plans to get out with the horses and do a bear hunt. And I don't know. We've sort of documented my struggles with bear hunting. I've had a hard time making that happen.
Just in terms of availability or like willingness?
Willingness, I think. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it just needs to be the right bear, right time. But this year I'm like really excited about getting out there.
Nice. It's a cool time to be out there. We've said that multiple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I've taken a bear. I agree with you. Like it's kind of to the point, for whatever reason, everybody's different, but I agree. I would probably want to take the right bear too.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, man. Our whole hunting journey's been like setting bars, right? You got to start somewhere. So for us, it was a white-tailed doe, and then you move to a buck, and then, you know, same with you.
Or
you
before
got
that, a grouse.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you start with what's available to you, which sometimes is the easier thing. And then, you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I want 4-point or nothing. You know what I mean? Or if it's a black bear, it's got to be a certain size. And
or even from a meat perspective, I find with a bear, a lot of people don't realize it, but you know, they look huge when you see them. And then when you harvest one and you get up close, you realize that, you know, in a lot of cases it takes a while to judge a bear, essentially, to learn how to.
Yeah, totally.
And, you know, that's not just about, like, where I'm going is that's about the meat too. Like if you're going to harvest a bear, it is work just like everything else.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of want to do that if there's a lot of meat on the bear, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, they can be quite small.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those things too, like going back, I wouldn't do anything different. I mean, that was a group decision between the two of us for you to harvest that bear.
Yeah. I'm pumped we did too, because we did get to experiment with the food and we got some good,
the meat was amazing.
Yeah. So that was good, but it was smaller than you think, right? Like, it just
surprising.
Takes some time.
Yeah. Definitely excited about getting out there and trying to find some bears, a couple different spots. We have a few different options there. But I don't know. I mean, it's like April 1st comes around and you're eager to get out there, but it's, you know, when would have been when you harvested yours? Would that have been May, June?
That's a good question. You know what? I might have the tag right here.
Okay. We'll pause for a second.
I can tell you exactly when it was.
Nice.
2018-19 season. The day was the 27th of May.
Nice.
Yeah. It was antlerless.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a cool hunt. I actually should go back and listen to that episode again.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about that episode.
Kind of cool.
The 2-parter. People were pissed off about that.
Yeah. Also, I was pissed off because, well, you listened to it in the episode, but it was just, you know, you wish it would have kind of worked out a little smoother.
Yeah.
And not have to get up at like 4 a.m. and drive all the way back up there by yourself. Because once you're up there, you realize how far it actually is, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it was good. Norris and I
it
had
all
some
worked
bonding
out.
Time.
Yeah. Yeah.
We saw a moose and we saw a bunch of other stuff up there.
Nice.
So you always, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could just go for a drive and you'll see something cool.
Yeah. I just did some cooking prior to jumping on here with the moose. Have you cooked anything?
You know what? It's been mostly simple stuff, more just necessity of, you know, life and get meals done quick. So we've done a lot of, I think we've done a couple lasagnas and, you know, a few taco nights and stuff like that. So nothing too fancy, just kind of utilitarian type stuff, which is, you know, why I love having those bricks of hamburger in the freezer.
Yeah.
What did you end up doing?
I made burgers tonight, and I had made them, I think, once before, I think.
Yeah.
And
so.
They were good, but I'm like, something's missing. Like they're not amazing, right?
Yeah.
And
salt?
What's that?
Salt?
Yeah. No. So I was kind of thinking like, man, maybe we went a little too lean. And I think the fat was the thing that was missing, which was sort of intentional because we wanted everybody to be able to use the ground meat however they chose.
Yeah.
And fat is something that you can always add into it. So how much ground is in those bags?
I think it's 1.5 pounds.
Right.
And we started with 15% fat, and I think we reduced it to 12%.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
So I just got, 1.5 pounds. I added 2 pieces of bacon, just cut it really, really fine and threw it in there. I was thinking about adding some pork, but I'm like, no, it just needs the fat. It doesn't need more meat, right? I mean,
Plus,
you know what I'm saying?
a little bit of bacon flavors probably.
Yeah. And I hate how people like wrap everything in bacon, like, you know. So it wasn't like that approach. It was like I want the fat and that to kind of mix with the mousse, and man, it was amazing. That's what it needed. Just a little extra fat.
Nice. It's kind of like gives it a whole bunch. Gives it a little of that saltiness, gives it some fat.
Kind of just like pulls it all together. So 2 pieces of bacon and 1.5 pounds of ground is not that much, but
nice.
And then actually I just diced up some onion and some jalapenos and mixed that in there, salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Made some nice patties. And then I sauteed some mushrooms and onions and cheese, lettuce. Boom. On a pretzel bun, like a sourdough pretzel bun from this bakery here. Yeah.
And we should have been eating those on the patio here.
I know, because I made like 4 giant burgers and I only ate one, so I got to freeze the other 3, I guess. And like, shit, Kelly should have just come over here. I should have come up there and we could have done a podcast and had burgers.
Yes, let's do that next time.
Yeah. But yeah, so really good. So if you're going to make
We should do that next time, but I'll pull the mousse out of my freezer. You come up and we'll make them.
Sure.
You can show me the bacon ratio secret.
Sure.
And then we'll throw them on the barbecue. And
sounds good.
Nice.
Yeah. What else have I made? I made just like some nachos with a bit of ground on there one time and tacos and
Nice.
Really good, man. It's funny. I mean, we talk about this, I don't know, last time we were all together, it's sort of just relearning how to cook wild game. And especially when you've got a new species and, you know, fat quantities are different and it takes a little bit to get it dialed back in again, but doesn't take long and you're cooking good stuff with it again.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
I have to, I think I got quite a bit left. I also have a lot of the backstrap.
Actually, yeah, so do I. I've cooked up a couple of them, but.
Yeah. So that's the other thing that I need to get into. You can't leave that stuff with the solid cuts, it's okay. You kind of wrap them up and they should be good for some time, but I still don't like to leave them too long, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But
got to use them up so you've got the drive to go and get something next year.
Yeah,
this year.
Totally. The other thing is LEH, something to look forward to for the spring. I think last year the applications closed in June, like first week of June.
Right.
So I don't think the regulations are out yet, or the whatever you call that document, but I'm sure they're coming out pretty soon.
It must be, yeah.
But yeah, June 8th. What I'm thinking with LEH is we kind of just do what we did last year.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Try to like focus all the effort on a moose again.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I always apply for the one-offs too, like the once in a lifetimes. And then, if you get it, you kind of have to plan a way to make it happen. But
yeah,
I find if you don't apply, then it's not even a once in a lifetime. It's just never in a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
So you never know.
There's never going to be like a great time to do it either. So you just have to if you get drawn,
bite the bullet. Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to talk a bit about that and align on some things. And yeah, I haven't looked at it in a few years. So
yeah. Oh, I listened to the pod with Renee. You guys did an awesome job. Renee as well. That was
that was great.
That was a sweet episode. Yeah, Sheep Show, the solution or
Jesus, man, you have trouble with this. Eh? The solution, the solution to conservation.
they should call the next one the Solution 2025. But yeah, that was a good event. I know I had to cut out a little early on the last day, but had a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
Lots of good people there as usual.
Yeah.
I mentioned it the last time I was on, but I got to pick up my rifle sometime in April in Kamloops. And I was thinking maybe the two of us, if it lines up, we could go pick that up, but then we could help out with that sheep count in Kamloops. I think there's a few different areas that they do it. So maybe we can touch base with the representative or the biologist and see kind of what those are. I know that there are easy options where you just kind of pull over at a gas station and you get your optics out, but there's also other options where, technically we could take the boat out up there.
Yeah.
Which,
if you go up like west of Kamloops, there's some really cool terrain back there. It'd be fun to check that out.
Yeah, for sure. So
yeah,
I'll try to nail down that date a little bit, and then we should put a plan together and see kind of if we want to go easy or maybe spend a whole day.
Those 2 weekends that you mentioned will work for me because I got pushed to third week of April for.
Okay, cool.
So that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we could bring the old Zoom recorder. Actually, I busted that thing out today just to make sure it still works. Oh, nice. She's still ticking. That thing's beat up.
That thing will last forever.
Yeah.
It's
gone bungee jumping, skydiving. It's been strapped to quads. It's gone parasailing or paragliding or whatever that shit's called. That thing is, it's done everything.
Awesome.
She's still ticking.
Yeah, that was a good purchase.
It was a good purchase. Yeah.
And it should really come on every one of our hunts.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I can't remember if we took it. I think we took it on the moose hunt, but we never pulled it out of the truck.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Probably.
But it's such a versatile piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Should we do some, we don't have any whiskey tonight. I don't think either of us do, but
nope.
Should we do a bit of wine and vinyl?
Yeah. You give her.
Okay, cool. So I've got a little bit of red tonight.
Nice.
Grey Monk local winery, and it's Pinot Noir. I always like a good Pinot Noir.
Nice. What's the vintage?
That's a good question. The bottle's outside, and it wasn't like for any particular reason other than there was some left.
Yeah, that's kind of what my situation is here.
Okay, and the vinyl. We've got Tame Impala.
Oh, nice.
Inner Speaker, which is, I think their debut album. I think they actually had an album before that, but I think this is kind of officially their debut album.
Cool.
Unreal. One of my favorite bands. Kind of, this one's like super psychedelic.
Yeah.
Kind of got that.
Pretty psychedelic.
Yeah. And it's like, pretty guitar heavy, kind of rock, Yeah. Whereas they've kind of evolved into a little more electronic recently.
Right.
But Kevin Parker has that John Lennon kind of voice, and it's kind of got like a Cream vibe and Beatles vibe and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Super cool.
But the interesting thing about this is it says written, recorded, and produced by Kevin Parker. All vocals and instruments, Kevin Parker. Engineered and mixed by a couple other people, but other than the engineering and the mixing, it's all him.
Did you know that he was sort of like co-producing Dua Lipa's next record?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's probably not a bad decision.
No.
The guy's just like a connoisseur of good tone.
Yeah.
And across multiple instruments,
That's already come out. That's a guilty pleasure for all three of us, Dua Lipa. So I'm stoked for this next record.
Nice. We'll change the theme music to this podcast.
Yeah. I'm sure she'd approve.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all I got. I'm not going to tell you what song I'm going to add to the playlist, but I do.
Yeah, I leave that up to you. I was just looking at it, actually. So I have I'm also drinking red. This is Maverick Estate Winery. This is in Oliver.
Yeah.
And I should double check this, but this guy who opened this was one of the original winemakers for Burrowing Owl, which is really amazing wines.
Right.
And this one is a 2020 Rubius is what it's called. So it's kind of a blend, and it's quite delicious. Aged
quite delicious.
in new and natural. Oh, sorry. Let me try that again. Aged in new and neutral French and Hungarian oak barrels for 16 months.
Oh, Hungarian. Nice. I'm Hungarian.
You can taste it.
The solution.
Yeah. All right. Ready for vinyl?
Ready.
You didn't already do this one, did you?
I can't.
It wasn't on the playlist, but for some reason I thought you.
Yeah, you know.
So this is.
I think it was one I was going to pick, but I didn't.
Okay.
I think I picked the band.
Right. It came up. So this is Tom Petty, Wildflowers, and all the rest. So this is like a bunch of unreleased tracks from the Wildflower sessions. One of my favorite all-time records. There's so many good songs on here, man, and it's just made for vinyl.
It's all. Yeah, I think it's probably the best sounding vinyl I have down there.
Yeah.
This top 3 for sure.
I think there's 3 or 4 records in here. I can't remember now. But all the artwork and stuff is super cool. That's in here.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of vinyl, man. It's all the extra stuff and the artwork and everything.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And Honeybee's on that one, right?
Yeah.
It's just like one of my favorite guitar riffs ever.
Such a sweet riff, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you can just, I don't know if there's a song that I ever want to play that loud, you know?
Yeah.
Just want to make the windows shake heavy with that one. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Should we tell the Tom Petty story, Kel?
Yeah. The Tom Petty concert. Probably my favorite concert of all time.
Yeah, I would agree. It was like magical.
Yeah.
So this is going way back. And I was working in Calgary at the time. And I flew in the morning of. So I was up super early that day. You guys picked me up at the airport. Yeah. And then drove all the way down to the Gorge, Washington. So that's probably 6-hour drive or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Somewhere around there, maybe at the most. And just like perfect summer day. I wonder what time of year that was. Like, would that have been July, do you think? June, July, somewhere in there?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. Kind of, we packed shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. So anyways, the drive down's awesome. We get to, what's the name of the town?
Moses Lake.
Moses Lake. We're all starving. And so we decide to get Subway at this gas station.
We're getting gas too.
Yeah. So we're eating subs, and then we still got like another hour maybe to drive to the Gorge from there. And I think we stopped and got some groceries and stuff like that and killed a bit of time. And then so we're on the interstate or whatever it is, and it's just like barren on like each side of the road. There's no trees or nothing.
Just desert.
Yeah. And all of a sudden I start sweating. I'm like, oh man, I don't feel good. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm kind of like looking at you guys like, are they like feeling okay? Or is it just me? But my stomach's just like turning, man. And I am like about to shit my pants, like just holding it as hard as I can, like white knuckling at the steering wheel, just trying to keep it together. But I was seriously just like sweating and nowhere to pull over. And I think I was just kind of keeping quiet about it. So we finally get to the Gorge in the parking lot, and I just go running for the honey buckets there, the porta potty. And then you guys are all just kind of like, man, what's up with you? Like, you all right? And then did it hit Bree next?
Yeah, I think it hit Bree.
And then so she's running to the porta potty, and then it hit Ashley, and then you're like, I don't know, like I'm fine. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
I'm like, you should have got the cold cut trio.
Yeah,
I'm totally fine.
Callie's fine, and there's like a winery right behind the Gorge amphitheater. I'm like, let's go over there and get some wine because you're not really allowed to bring booze in there, I don't think, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we're hanging out in the parking lot.
In the parking lot. Yeah, it's like a big grass field essentially.
Yeah.
With the honey bucket in the middle.
Yeah. Just a line of them, thank God. And they're all clean at that point. It was still early in the day. So anyways, I'm feeling fine. Everyone else is feeling fine. Kelly seems like he's escaped it. And then we decided to hop this big like deer fence pretty much. It's pretty high, I think. So like I go to hoist Kelly up so he can get over the fence. And he puts his shoe like right in my hand, and I was going to hoist him up a little bit, and his ass is like right in my face, and he just goes, nope. And I'm like, what do you mean, nope? He goes, nope, put me down. And it just goes running across the field with like a trail of dust behind him and got you too.
Yeah, it was like 400-yard sprint.
Yeah. Never seen you run so fast. So
yeah, breathing. Yeah, they were just laughing, man.
Yeah.
But it just hit me out of nowhere.
Luckily, all of us were fine after that. Like it wasn't like
affect our night.
It was just like shit your brains out and then you were good to go.
Yeah.
And then we ended up hopping the fence and getting some wine. And yeah, that was incredible.
So if you're looking for a quick cleanse, I know exactly where you should go.
We'll give you the coordinates.
It's the Moses Lake gas station cleanse.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's touch and go.
There was actually a couple of good stories from that concert, because then after the concert was done, it was like 2 a.m. We go back to the hotel and they're like, yeah, we don't have your reservation. And we're like, what the hell is going on? So we ended up hanging out in the lobby for like an hour. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning now. And we're just like, no, I have the reservation number right here, showing the email and all this. And they're like, oh yeah, our system shows that you actually booked same name, but in Mammoth Lake.
Wasn't it like Moses Lake, California or something like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said Mammoth.
Mammoth, Jesus.
Yeah, it's similar chain, but in Mammoth. And I'm like, well, if you look at my email, it says Moses Lake. Like it doesn't say Mammoth here. And they're like, well, yeah, on the back end though, it routed it to Mammoth. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter what the back end says. Like, where are you going to put us?
Yeah.
Like you can put us in a meeting room with a couple cots for all I care, but like we got to sleep somewhere.
And you know what the most frustrating part was? There was rooms that hadn't been checked into. I think there was 2 rooms and she wouldn't give them up.
Yeah.
And then things got a little heated and she phoned the cops and we left.
Yeah. I mean, heated in the sense of like, just
give us a room.
I think they were just getting frustrated that we weren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were causing a disturbance or anything.
We were just getting a little frustrated, but yeah.
But the thing is, when they did make that call, we were actually at the coffee shop across the street and the cops were sitting right beside us. So when they made the call, that radio went off. Remember?
Yeah.
And we heard it, and then we leaned over and we're like, oh, that's actually us.
Yeah.
We had a reservation and it's just non-existent. And they're like, oh, man, that really... There's like 6 cops around this table.
Yeah.
We're like best friends with them within 10 minutes, and they're phoning all the hotels in town trying to get us a spot. And then finally they said, sorry, there's nothing.
There's one hotel, but it's full of hookers and crack bars.
Basically you don't want to be in that side of town. So they said, sorry guys, but you're either going to have to sleep in your car or whatever.
Yeah.
So we drove home that morning. It was like 4 a.m. we took off.
Yeah. I had been up for like 24 hours at that point.
Yeah.
Drove back and as the sun was coming up through the desert again. And
purple sky, and which was kind of cool. And we also listened to Tom Petty all the way back.
Yeah.
Right? That Mojo album.
Yeah.
Which now when I listen to it, all I can see is kind of purple, like that's the color that,
yeah.
Anyways.
I know what you mean. I was listening to that a couple of days ago. It was just like the weather. I'm like, I'm going to throw Mojo on. It brought me right back.
And then we made it through Oliver, which is like 2 hours south of Kelowna. It's kind of just above the border to the States. And it turns out that later that day, at about 2 p.m, which is probably when we would have been coming through,
it would have been
a landslide came down the mountain, shot across the highway, and shut the highway down.
Yeah.
So
we lucked out.
Yeah, I mean, everything happens for a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
That was a bit much, I'm sure if it was for a reason, and whoever was in charge could have figured out an easier way to make that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good.
There you go. Tom Petty.
And who opened? Remember?
I do know. Yeah.
Joe Cocker.
That was awesome.
And they played Come Together for like 12 minutes.
That was unreal.
Yeah. And all the other Beatles covers that he used to do.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get a chance to go to the Gorge Amphitheater in George, it's funny because it's Gorge, but it's in George. Just to make it confusing.
But it
overlooks the Columbia River. Amazing. Definitely go see a concert there if you get a chance.
Yeah. It's
I'm
like
going there.
Mini Grand Canyon.
2 months to see the Chili Peppers again.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Yeah.
It's like a Red Rocks thing, right? It's just one of those natural kind of amazing places to see a show.
Yeah. Well, back to Hunting Cal. What else you got?
I don't have much, actually.
No?
I still think that we're unsure of what we're going to be doing this fall.
Yeah, I was kind of curious if you've thought more about it. I still really like the idea of like a high alpine mule deer hunt.
Yeah, and
With the
making use
horses.
of horses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like we've kind of gone to the what if we did a fly-in to what if we went to Haida Gwaii,
Yeah.
which could also be either a boat in or a fly-in.
Yeah.
And then, what if we just, kept close to Garrett, which enables him and us to make use of the horses.
Yeah.
And or just make sure we were able to hunt in a group and, with all the commitments we have in life at this point.
Yeah.
It's just to make sure we can kind of execute, right? Because like we can put a plan together, but execution is kind of where it all hits the ground, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's always exciting to go somewhere far away because far away, it just feels like, oh, that makes it an epic journey. But we can have some pretty epic journeys right here.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
Within a few hours drive. And so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we figure out kind of what we're going for and go to a place that holds a good amount of them and we're seeing sign, like that's all I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because we have had hunts in the past where we kind of just go to a place because we want to go to that place, but then there actually isn't any sign or animals there. And it's kind of like, it gets pretty deflating after like day 4, 5.
Yeah, it does. 100%.
And I've had it, obviously that could end up being the best hunt because it all comes together at the end, which is what happened with our elk. But
yeah,
I've also had hunts where it was just the same the whole time. And, it gets a bit, especially when you're traveling and you're putting all those, resources together. It's just, it's nice to come home with some meat.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Just like to kind of put as many eggs in a basket as we can.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll figure it out though. I mean, if that's what we want to do and, we're kind of thinking the southern interior, then we'll figure out where we need to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I said, man, if we start identifying some stuff now, it's easy for me to get out and go scout an area. A little trickier for you guys, but
yeah, right.
You guys can send me out and I'll check it out and see if it ticks all the boxes or not.
Are you thinking, and we might not even know this yet, but are you thinking closer to Okanagan or closer to Kootenays?
I don't know. Somewhere right in the middle. I'm thinking more Kootenay hunt though, I think.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. So we would be heading east.
I'm leaving like little candy trails of hints when people listen to these back to back. They're going to nail it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yes, still 2 pretty big regions, but I feel like for that like scenic alpine hike, Kootenay's a good place to do it.
It's tough to find in the Okanagan. It's a lot of plateaus and
yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to come quick. So we should just schedule a call and get that.
Yeah, we should get it. I feel like we're getting closer, but then we don't talk about it for a bit, and it's like I feel like everyone's mind starts drifting somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you consider that elk hunt again?
Yep.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Oh, no, sorry. I thought you were talking about the successful one.
No, the non.
Yes, although I don't think I'd bring my truck in there again.
Yeah. So you, would you go to where the 3 of us went?
Yeah, man. I mean, I probably would, but I think we just gotta.
It's the water.
We need to come around with a solid plan for that.
Yeah. So I was, while I was hiking the other day, I mean, it was by myself, so I had lots of time to think, and I had a pack on. I'm like, how do we do this? Because it's the weight is always the issue, and you're packing camp and all this shit.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we could start exploring some ultralight options where it's like sill tarp and no tent and like try something totally new.
Yeah. And it's early season, so it's not like you're going to hit snow, right?
Yeah. Very
unlikely.
Yeah.
And there's ways to deal with that too, even if it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, we know what to expect, right? So I guess it's just like if the goal is to do that again, then we have to come up with a bunch of options, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, you can get in different access points. So like, which way do we go?
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to each one. One, you're going up. One, you're kind of going down, and then you got to come back up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what's better, man. Like,
I don't know what's better either.
Packing out with weight coming down almost seems worse.
Yeah.
But I think it's a shorter distance, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, we'd have to map it out. But yeah, just after talking to him about that last time, I'm like, oh man, I just think it'd be awesome. And then not do it again. Just do it once.
I just can't believe how close we were, man.
I know. That's
like, I literally had my finger on the trigger. Like all it took, we were a millimeter away in the sense of how far my finger had to move, like I just needed 1 second.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I think we should think about that.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Start packing water now.
It'd be, what happens with water if you leave it out like that? Like, does it get moldy, or like, how does that work?
No, I'm sure it'd be fine. I feel like if you were leaving it in plastic bottles, the plastic probably degrades a little bit, but maybe if you keep it in a nice shady spot, it's going to be fine.
Nice.
I don't know. But here's the thing is, like, if we would go, I mean, we'd have to drive all the way there and probably spend some time camping. So there's that. We'd have to make a whole weekend out of it, but the creeks are running. So we could technically take advantage of creeks, hike in a ways with just empty stuff to fill up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then leave that behind.
I feel like the more times we go in there to prep for it, the more likely it is we won't want to go in there.
Yeah, we'll never go back for that water. Yeah.
Unless we run into a big elk.
Yeah. If anyone listening has any tips for ultralight, like early September when it's hot. So it's pretty doable, right? But if anyone has any tips for setting up something that's comfortable but super lightweight, send it to us. Would be great.
Yep.
Because yeah, we've always gone for the comfortable, ready for anything type of camp setup, which is nice. It's nice to have that at the end of the day, but also it would be nice to just get an elk and pack out and not have to come back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
I seem to remember last time too, we chatted about a potential, the only word that's come to mind is a wagon, or like a cart.
Right.
Because then the downhill pack out makes more sense, I think, especially if you have some type of brake on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that seems almost critical for that hunt, it's just to have some type of way to get that weight off your back, but kind of slide it down, and then you could kind of get out that way. But we just got to have a meeting about that one, I guess. I mean, we're kind of having one now, but maybe that's Moose Burgers on the patio, and we'll just get the pen and paper out and write down all the options.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds good to me.
Pretty much any excuse to do that is a win, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's less about the elk at that point. It's more about just this.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I mean, we can keep it a shorter one for this week.
Cool.
If we gain some new women listeners, it'd be nice to hear from you. It seemed like that last episode got a little extra traction and some new listeners. So would love to hear from you guys. There's been some conversations about getting more of that type of content coming, because I think it's important that we are inclusive on this show. And I mean, just talking to new hunters and hearing their stories, doesn't matter if it's male or female. It's exciting, man. And just talking to Renee about her bear hunt, and that just got me super excited for the season. So it'd be nice to have more women on the show. So that's the plan moving forward.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I enjoyed that episode.
Yeah.
And there's more involvement and kind of proponents for hunting, and it's all good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing for I don't know if I always say this, like, I don't know, is it a sport?
I don't know what it is.
I like the outdoorsman term or outdoorswoman term. Sport seems a little funny to me.
Yeah, it's definitely a pursuit of many things. It's a pursuit of, being outside, and it's a pursuit of the food you eat, but it's also a pursuit of disconnecting and many different things. So sport is weird. I don't know.
And just challenge of yourself. You know, it's almost like an individual challenge.
Yeah, for sure it is.
But yeah, there's so many different things.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, Garrett was going to try and connect with us, but we'll have to do another one with him and see if his plans have evolved. But
speaking of hunting, and if you look at this album cover, this Inner Speaker album cover, it's the fall, right? Like all the leaves are changing.
Oh, nice.
Which makes me miss fall. I think it's my favorite. Ever since I started hunting, it's my favorite season.
Yeah, I love spring. Summer is it's getting to be a bit much these days, but fall, spring and fall. Yeah. All right. Well, if you made it this far,
that's what you get.
All right, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, there you go. Episode 153. Hope you learned a lesson about getting gas station Subway. I certainly hope to never repeat that situation again. Shorter episode today, but that was fun. It was just nice to do it like the good old days of Mike and Kelly. A lot of fun. We'll get some updates from Garrett here as things keep moving forward. He's been a little busy with house renovations. I think he's going to be happy to saddle up the horses and get the hell away from civilization for a bit. So excited to hear what he's got planned. Hopefully he can get away. But you can follow along on our spring journey and reach out. Let us know what you guys are up to. Would love to hear your spring plans. info@theRookieHunter.com. Find us on Instagram, all that good stuff. But we shall see you guys soon. Cheers.